everyone, welcome to 5pointsblue.com. I'm Kelsey Charles, joined by Christy Scales, Nita Streetkamp, and Lindsay Cash. Guys, the Cowboys are coming off a huge win against the Colts, beating them 42-7 in what was a really big game for this team. They clinched the division. They're heading to the playoffs, and they're 11-4. This team has completely exceeded expectations. So talk to me about how far they've come since what you initially thought they would be at the beginning of this year.
What did you have them as? Lindsay, you go first. Going into
gosh,
the season,
I
be
said
honest.
worse than last year. Worse
Okay.
than last year for sure.
Me too. Nita?
Oh gosh, I think 5-11, to be honest.
Well, I'm an optimist. I had him at 9-7 and hoping for a playoff spot, hoping 9 would be good enough for a playoff spot.
Wow, see, I was not even thinking 500. I was just like, no, this team, they've lost Sean Lee, they're losing guys, they've already lost one of their draft picks. I mean, this is not looking good, but they've obviously been able to do great so far this year. Another guy on this team who's exceeded expectations is their quarterback, Tony Romo. I mean, he's been nothing short of fantastic this year, really leading this team and doing what he's supposed to do. So is Tony Romo a candidate for MVP?
He's a candidate. I don't think he's going to win it, though. It's one of those things right now. You have DeMarco Murray and Tony Romo as candidates on this team, and unfortunately, you can't have two true MVP candidates from the same team. They're not going to compete against each other. So every vote for Tony is a vote away from Murray. Every vote for Murray is a vote away from Tony. So
I don't know how much they look at the whole big picture of what, the team and the coaching and everything this team has overcome. If you look back at last year, people, were getting so tired of 8-8 and what Tony Romo was doing. I think 8-8 was above and beyond what they should have done. Anyways, what the coaching staff has done and how Tony has overcome everything in his back. If people really sit back and measure all the outside circumstances that this team and this staff has overcome, MVP without a doubt.
Yeah, I saw one interesting stat, and credit Todd Archer with ESPN.com, but with this stat. But Tony Romo was 5th in the league in touchdown passes, yet he's only 23rd in pass attempts. So he has been so efficient this year. But, we've said all along, the team, everybody talks about it, that a quarterback's best friend is a great ground game. And, of course, the Cowboys have had that this year with the investment they put in the offensive line, and DeMarco Murray, as you said, having such a great year. So is he worthy of MVP consideration? Yes, but I agree with Nita. I don't think he's going to get it, unfortunately.
I'm with you guys as well, but I look at what he's done and been able to do for this team so far. In the games that this team has lost, you look at, Arizona, he wasn't even in the game. You look at San Francisco, he played horribly, and against the Eagles, another poor game. And then with the Washington, he didn't play well, and then he got hurt. So I just know he's just such a cornerstone for this team and has been this year. I think he's obviously done important things, but I'm with you guys. I'm not quite sure it's going to be enough for him to get the vote for that. But looking ahead to Washington, they did lose to them earlier on this season. They go to Washington to play them for the final season game this year. Guys, we've got some injured players, on the offensive line. DeMarco Murray's a little banged up. So do you think this is going to be a good game for them to sit these players, rest them up, wait for the postseason? Or are you like, no, let's gung-ho, full speed ahead?
Hey, it doesn't matter what we think. It matters what Jason Garrett's thinking, what he thinks. And Jason Garrett, it is not his style to sit guys. That is not who he is. Also, this is a young team. It'd be different if this were the Cowboys of the late 1990s or Bill Walsh's 49ers of the late 80s, early 90s, that kind of thing. But this is a young team now. A guy like Doug Free, who's has the ankle injury, bone spurs, of course, you don't do that. But DeMarco Murray with the broken hand, I'm guessing if I had to put money on it, I'd say he would probably play. Zach Martin, I don't want him out there, but if it's up to Zach Martin, he'll play. If it's up to Jason Witten, Jason Witten went in with a knee injury in the first half on Sunday, went back to the locker room, but I didn't see the team doctor or the trainer take a hacksaw with him, so I knew his leg was not going to be amputated. So we all knew that Witten was going to be back. That's the only thing that's going to keep Witten out of the game. So Jason Garrett on Monday was talking about momentum. And how it's a real thing, even at the professional level. And I see Coach Garrett wanting to continue the momentum and not pulling back and resting a bunch of starters.
I think his press conference after winning the NFC East was the most confident I've ever seen Coach Garrett, and it actually made me really happy, but you also saw him speak from the heart. He said, you get 16 games. Why not do your best? Why not put everyone out there? And he also went on to say DeMarco Murray, to me, played his best game. And a few people were puzzled because he had a 1-yard touchdown, very limited runs, but the fact that he showed the willpower to say, I'm going out on the field, that trickled into the team, and the effect of the momentum, like you just said, Christy, they're not going to lose that.
I think you definitely play them, but to what extent? I mean, how many? You play them a half, you play them a
Yeah,
quarter.
yeah.
Keep the momentum going, but at
Right.
the same time, if you don't want to. You don't want to hurt themselves come playoff time.
That's where I'm with you. Is if you can do it like it's the third preseason game, that would be great.
Exactly.
But yeah. So I think we're all in favor.
I think you
of
play them for a half. Make sure there's no rust going into the playoffs. Keep the momentum going, and then pull them out second half.
Practice normal
Get
the
in
whole
everyone.
week.
Absolutely.
All right, well, we'll see how that momentum plays out come this weekend. Thank you guys so much for joining us. Happy holidays from us here at 5 Points Blue to you and your families. Enjoy the week, and we will see you guys in the postseason.
Merry Christmas.